And somebody needs to hear this. All you have is all you need. All you have is all you need. I think we get this misconception of like, well, I don't have as much to give as them, or I don't have as much funds or as many skills or whatever it may be, so therefore I can't do as much. Brother, that's just not true. And I think just completely starting off, just running with it, I think that's why a lot of Christians and a big portion of Christianity fall short all the time, is because we don't even try. We don't even try as human beings to get up and do the will of God. We simply don't try. And we don't try because we feel like we don't have enough or we're not enough. So therefore, we just look for the next thing that we can do. It's like if someone, I don't know, if a kid wanted to play sports and he already had it in his mind that he wasn't good enough to make the team, so he didn't even try out. He didn't feel like he had the skills. He felt like he didn't have the ability. He didn't have whatever it took to make the team, so he didn't even try out, fam. And I feel like we try to do that with God, but we do it with our calling. But that's the difference between human life and the life that God has, is in this world, whenever we try to do our earthly desires and we try to do, whatever the world's trying to do, and we try to do things that the world is in charge of, like sports, like jobs, like whatever it may be, school, work, we have to be good enough in the eyes of our boss, in the eyes of our coach, in the eyes of whatever it may be that we're trying to do. We have to be good enough in order to make it to this point, to make that team, to get that promotion, to do whatever. We have to be good enough to get there. And a lot of people don't try because they know they can't get there. And that same attitude we have whenever we decide to follow Christ. There's something big in our life that we need to do. There's another big step that we need to take to get closer to God, or another big life step to take. And we know that that's the obedient way to go, but we feel like we're just not good enough. Well, I would go and do that. I would actually start to do ministry rather than just go to church. I would actually try to devote my life to Jesus, and I would try to go serve in that church. But, I'm just not that biblically smart. I'm just not that qualified. I'm just not whatever. All you have is all you need, fam. We try to get ourselves together and we try to make ourselves better than we are so that then we can be qualified to do what God has called us to do. Fam, you're never going to be qualified to do what God called you to do. That's the beauty of it. All you have is all you need. All you are is all you need to be. You don't have to get qualified to be called. God calls you, and because he called you, that is what qualifies you. I don't have to be qualified to be a believer in Jesus. I was called by Jesus, and therefore his calling on my life qualifies me for whatever there is to be ahead. It's that simple. I may not be qualified to talk and preach to people. I may not be qualified to go out and try to evangelize. I may not be qualified to talk to people. I may not be qualified, but I'm called. And because I'm called, I'm more than qualified. Look at the disciples in the Bible, fam. They didn't have anything. They were like hillbilly fishermen in the Bible from Galilee. And what's funny is Jesus used them, and Jesus almost knew the way that people looked at them, and that's why he liked to use them. Is because people saw them as these, hillbilly fishermen, and these people who were uneducated, and these people who did not go to school and didn't do these things, and he used them to do his work. And then we see in Acts, we see these guys talking about Jesus before the Sanhedrin, before these people in court, before these scholars, before these like big names and teachers and all these godly people, quote unquote. And he used these hillbilly fishermen to talk about Jesus to those guys. All you have is all you need, fam. And I think we try to make something up and we try to fake it until we make it with our life with Jesus. And Jesus is like, hey, I don't need you to fake it to make it. I need you to be you. I need you to be your whatever version of you that you have, that weak version that you think, that broken version. Because God is more concerned with your availability more so than he is your ability. God's concern, are you available? Are you available? Because a lot of us, we think, oh, I'm not able to do that. God didn't ask you that. He asked, are you available? Are you going to say yes? A lot of us say yes, but we also go, yes, but are you available? Availability over ability. Faith over works. God's not interested in what you can muster up to do in order to perform something for him. He's interested in you just saying yes. Are you available for God to use you? Are you available physically, mentally, spiritually? Because you can say, okay, God, let's do this thing. But in your mind, you could be like, no, I'm never gonna amount to anything. I'm never going to be able to do that. I'm never going to be able. And you're already mentally kicking yourself out. Can you be spiritually, mentally, physically available for God and have faith that whatever he has for you, you're able to do because he called you to it? Because if he calls you to it, he's going to bring you through it. Okay? We already covered that. This is how it works, fam. And the reason why Christianity is not popping no more, the reason why Christianity is not at the forefront of everything like it used to be, is because used to, everybody was walking by faith. Everybody knew they were whack and everybody knew that they were broken, but they kept walking because it was in faith. And now we have Christians who are too concerned with how good they are that they don't even try. Get up and do something, fam. Get up and do something. We're just sitting back lounging. And a lot of times it's because we're lazy, but a lot of times, man, it's just because we don't think we have it in us. Get up and talk to somebody about Jesus, bro. Get up and buy somebody lunch. Get up and do something good. Because sometimes maybe all you need is some confidence. I remember my first time ever. So what we did this. We were in the city. We were in Houston, and we were in like downtown. And bro, we probably fed like 30 homeless people, bro. And it was amazing. And we got to talk to people, pray over people. It was awesome. That same day, we got to give blankets to like 30 or 40 different homeless people. We got to give socks to them and, just hang out with these people. And it was one of the greatest times of my life, honestly. And my confidence was way up, bro. I was like, all right, let's do this. Like, I'm ready. Okay, let's go. I'm an evangelist now, guys. Let's go. And I think like a couple months later, there was a homeless guy at this gas station I saw, and I didn't even ask him anything. I just went inside, and I got whatever I was going to get, and I got like a little sandwich from there, and I got like a bottle of water, and I just took it to him. And this dude like cussed me out and like threw it at me. Get out of here. Beep, 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 beep. Get out, get out. I was like, oh my gosh. My confidence went straight through the floor, bro. Straight through the floor. And I didn't handle it the best way. Like, obviously, he probably felt, offended that I was just automatically coming up with food. Like, I should have talked to him first and asked him. Like, I should have just, I could have approached the situation better. But, bro, him reacting that way completely made me crash. And I was like 17, 18 at this point. And I didn't even want to go the next year to go back to Houston and like feed and give stuff to homeless people because I was like, nah, fam, I'm done. Clearly this isn't my thing. Because my confidence was gone. Like that, fam. Confidence was gone. Didn't want to do it anymore because I didn't believe in what I was doing. That it's that easy to not want to do it anymore. And I think for some people, you've never had the chance to even build your confidence. Go out there and be confident in who God made you to be. Go out there and just be confident in the fact that you can do good because God said so. Be confident that you can help change someone's day, change someone's life by simple acts. People think that changing someone's day and changing someone's perspective on life is some big, extraordinary thing that we have to do. Bro, you just got to take opportunities. Somebody's having a bad day, be there for them. Some random person's crying, go hug them. It's not that hard, bro. It's not that hard to love like Jesus. It's really not. But we don't have the confidence to do so because, well, I'm just not qualified. I'm not good enough. I don't know what to say. What if they ask me questions and I don't know what to blah, 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 blah. And then you start just thinking and your brain is running around and you talk yourself out of it. Do something small to build that confidence. Do a couple small things, man. You see a little homeless guy somewhere, buy him a little Chick-fil-A sandwich, man. Something little. It doesn't matter. Oh, well, he's just going to eat that. He's going to be hungry again. Who cares? Go talk to somebody. Say, hey, how are you? I hope you have a great day. Do little things and build your confidence. Like, okay, maybe I can do this. You're not ever going to be qualified to do the will of God. But he's called you to it. And if he's called you to it, then it's able to be done. Don't hold yourself back because your lack of confidence or your lack of want to, or because you think that you can't. You're counting yourself out before you even try. And that was that day I remember that homeless guy cussed me out, bro, and I was out for a couple of days mentally and spiritually, really, and I was just like, man, this sucks. And then all of a sudden, I was like, oh, well, it's not, I can't let this hold me back from my purpose. If I really believed in it last year to go help homeless people, I can't just all of a sudden be like, no, it's not that big of a deal. No, fam. I can't let one setback hold me back from what's to come. And a lot of people, that's what does it. A lot of people are confident and a lot of people are ready to go and ready to love Jesus and ready to go serve and go talk to people and go love on people and do all these great things. But then you have a setback. And then that setback is what causes you to be like, oh, pause. Never mind, fam. Not doing that anymore. You had a setback. Confidence gone. You don't feel good no more. And then therefore, you stop trying? Huh? It's the craziest thing I've ever heard, bro. But it's hard. I think like we see this with pastors, you know, like, I don't know, the last like 5 years, bro, I feel like pastor after pastor has had like different things come out about them, right? You got certain pastors who end up having to leave their church because of immoral decisions. You have other pastors who have controversies around their sermons. You have other pastors. Setbacks, man. Congratulations. You found out that your pastor is a human being and he makes mistakes. Does that mean that that pastor can never do ministry again? I don't think so. There's pastors who ended up getting fired from their job from big churches because they got caught up doing something other. Does that mean they can never serve God again? No. Are they going to be a pastor of a big church and be on a platform again? I don't know. Maybe not. But there's still plenty of areas to serve God other than a big platform. They had a setback. And a lot of us, whenever we have a setback, we give up. You need to change your setback into a setup. You're doing good and then something bad happens and it's a setback. Learn from it. Pick yourself up because it's a setup. Because God's just trying to equip you to do something more. Good things that happen in life, bad things that happen in life, confusing things that happen in life, all these different things that happen in life, good, bad, ugly, sad, happy, glad, whatever, help you learn. You can't learn if everything's going good all the time. You can't learn if you're always winning. You can't learn if you're always just like, oh, it's good, it's great, everything's brilliant, everything's whatever. You can't learn that way. You have to learn sometimes by, oh, okay, don't do that next time. That was tough. Don't go over here. Maybe don't say that next time, right? You have to learn. And a lot of us don't like to do these things. A lot of us, and that, again, that's why some of us don't like to step out and do things. We don't have that confidence because we're scared to mess up. We're scared to have a setback. We're scared to take that step and fail. We're scared, man. We're scared to take that step and fall short. We're scared to take that step and then fall face first because we got too nervous and couldn't public speak like we thought we could. How are you ever going to learn if you don't take that step? You take a step, you fall, it's a setback. But guess what? That setback, now you learned what to do next time. Therefore, it's a setup. You got to make mistakes, fam. And we're so scared to make mistakes because we're like, oh, well, what if they're looking at me? And what if they judge me? And what if they whatever? Who cares, bro? Who cares? You're scared to take a step and mess up because you don't want them to judge you, fam? Take a step. Move forward. Even if you think, oh, I may not be good enough. I may not be qualified enough. I may not be able to do this. Take that step. If God called you to it, he's going to take care of you, bro. And if you mess up, congratulations. You learned something today. Get back up and let's do it again. You can't hold yourself back because of these people's opinion. You can't hold yourself back because of your own opinion of you thinking that you're going to fall short again. Brother, take a step and just see what God's got. See what God's got. Simon Peter, bro. This guy. God, if it's really you, Jesus, if it's really you, let me get out there on this water and walk on this water with you. All right? He's walking on water, doing his thing, walking on water with Jesus. All of a sudden, looks away from Jesus, gets scared, starts to sink. Setback. His confidence was okay at first. He was walking on water, fam. That's pretty confident if you ask me. And then all of a sudden, he had a setback. Is that setback going to hold him back for the rest of his life? Imagine if that was the end of Simon Peter's story. Simon Peter took his eyes off Jesus, therefore sunk. Therefore, Jesus took him out of the water safely. Simon Peter's alive, but we do not hear from him anymore in the Bible because he had a setback. No, fam. After that, what did Simon Peter do? Continue to do his mission with Jesus. Continue to do life with Jesus. One of the greatest evangelists of all time. He had a setback. He had multiple setbacks. Okay? Let's not act like these disciples weren't denying Jesus. Let's not act like these disciples weren't clowns. Let's not act like these disciples were just like perfect. Okay? They were whack. Like us. And that's why God's cool. What do you think the Bible's for, bro? The Bible shows us exactly what our life is to be like. The Bible has everything you need in it to show you what life is like. The disciples, you are broken, are imperfect, are whack, are dumb, are going to make mistakes, just like you. But Jesus is going to take care of you no matter what. All you have to do is be obedient and walk forward, even though you're going to make mistakes, even though you're going to hit hard times. You just got to get up and keep going. Like the disciples, bro. You feel like you're not qualified. Good. But you're called. Your calling is always going to be greater than your qualification. This pastor who, some people like, some people don't like, it's whatever. He wrote a book. It's called Unqualified. Because there's a lot of pastors who, don't like the way he preaches and don't like the way he does stuff. So they called him Unqualified. They're like, oh, I think he's an unqualified preacher. So what did he do? He made a book called Unqualified. I think it was like a New York Times bestseller as well. And it's the idea that, hey, we're all unqualified. If you think you're qualified to hold the word of God in your hand and deliver it to people, you're crazy. The only person to do that was qualified was Jesus. But you're called. And Jesus is with you. And if he is before you, then who can be against you? And if people want to doubt you, then they're just ops. And I don't even know where I'm going with that. Let me stop. I think we just need to pray and tell God, hey, I'm available. Right now, I'm available. And don't just pray it, fam. Actually do it. Actually be available. Say, God, I'm available right now. What do you want me to do right now? What do you want me to do this week? Where do you want me to go? Show me opportunities, God, because I'm ready. Don't pray it if you're not ready. And if you're not ready, get ready. Because you're wasting time, fam. God, I am available right now. Show me where to go. Show me the way. Because that's what God wants. He wants your availability. Don't worry about your ability. Don't worry about any of that. Paul was walking around town about to go murder some Christians. And Jesus is up there like, I think we need a man who is going to be good with the Gentiles, who can bring my name to those people. And he's probably up there in heaven having a discussion with God. This is not theologically correct, okay? So calm down, everybody. So Jesus is up there talking to God. He's like, we need a guy who's going to be good with the Gentiles to bring my name there. And God's like, so what do you think, Jesus? You think that one of the disciples would be good? Jesus is like, nah. I want to keep them where they are because, I want them to be there with all the smart people and all the smart teachers and just kind of show them that all this stuff that they believe in doesn't really matter. I think it'd be kind of cute that these little fisher farmer boys are showing up, all these like big teachers and professors and things like that. Okay, so who else you thinking, Jesus? Like, who do you think is going to be a good fit to proclaim your name to the world? How about that guy? And it's Paul, fam. Saul, actually. It's Saul. Walking down the street to Damascus, fam. About to go murk some Christians. And Jesus is like, yeah, that's my guy. Clearly, Saul had no ability at that time to talk about Jesus. No ability whatsoever, because he's about to go kill him. But Jesus called him. What are you going to do when Jesus calls your name? Are you going to be like, no, God, I can't. I've made so many mistakes. I fall short every day. I'm just such a failure. I can't do these things. I can't blah, 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 blah. You going to keep making excuses, or are you going to get up and go? What are you going to do when Jesus calls your name, bro? You going to keep making excuses, or are you going to get up and go? You're going to keep saying, well, I can't. I don't have the ability to do that. I don't have the ability to go out. I don't have the ability to do these things. I don't care about your ability. I care about your availability. Are you available for God today? Will you say yes to God today? You're not qualified, but you're called. And that's what God wants. Will you say yes to God today for whatever it is that he needs you to do in the future? Because his call is greater than your qualification. Your availability is greater than your ability. Because if you just say yes to God, he's the one doing the work anyways. You just the thing he's using, fam. Right? It's like those like dealership inflatables that just like flop in the wind like a bunch of weirdos, right? That's all you are, fam. You're just an inflatable weirdo. And God's the one to fill you up and move you. I'm getting hot in this jacket, fam. Oh. Yup. Are you available for God today? That's all that matters. Are you available? Get a sip of my drink over there. Are you available? I'm pretty sure there's a Justin Bieber song about that. I think it's called Available. Are you available? Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, bro. That's all I got. Why doesn't God use me? Why doesn't God, I don't know, why can't I do these cool things like they do in the Bible? Why can't I do whatever? I just feel like I'm not doing anything. Are you available, fam? Are you available for God to use you? Voice crack. Are you saying yes to God? Stop looking down on your own self because you're not good enough. Stop looking down on your own ability. Stop looking down on who you are because you feel like you're not qualified. Stop doing that. Stop holding yourself back from what God's trying to do. You don't think you're good enough, so you're going to hold yourself back? God's trying to use you. Well, I'm just not good enough. So you hold yourself back? Fam. Familia. My brother. To say yes to God. Representing Christ every single day requires obedience every single day. Yes? That's all I got. I don't got much more. All you have is all you need. Period. So give whatever you have, your heart, your mind, your spirit. Go forth and ball. Go forth and do the will of God. Amen. Okay, I'm just need to stop yapping, dude. Every single episode, bro. The last like 3 minutes, it's just me, just nonsense. How do you stop a podcast? I don't know how to like land the plane. I feel like I'm just like 30,000 feet in the air, and then all of a sudden I'm just like, I don't know, crash landing. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I get like 30,000 feet in the air, and then I come down and I'm like hovering above the runway, but I just can't land the plane. How do you stop a podcast? I don't know how to do this. How do you podcast, bro? I'm like 30 something episodes in. I have no idea how to do this. Goodbye. Represent Podcast, everybody. Thanks for coming every single Tuesday at 12 o'clock. Follow us on all social media. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Instagram, TikTok, wherever you want to see us at. We're going to be there, fam. So you got to be there every single Tuesday. We love y'all. I'm landing the plane. Look at this. Landing the plane like a G. I love y'all. See you on the next one. Be available for God. All you got to do is say yes, and then you're golden. Cool? Cool. Peace.